In a quiet village near the Sea of Galilee, Jesus began sharing stories that brought history vividly to life for those who listened. He spoke softly yet powerfully, his words filled with the weight of truth and compassion that touched every heart present. One day he recounted the time when Moses led the Israelites out of Egypt, describing the plagues and the parting of the Red Sea with vivid detail. The crowd listened in awe as Jesus described the desperate cries of the enslaved people and Moses' unwavering faith in God's power. He explained how the parted waters stood like towering walls, protecting the fleeing Israelites from Pharaoh's pursuing armies. A man in the crowd asked eagerly, "And what of the manna in the desert?" Jesus nodded and said, "That bread from heaven was God's gift, sustaining them in times of need when there was no food." He painted pictures with words, telling of Joshua's battle at Jericho, the walls tumbling down after the priests blew their horns. The listeners imagined the ancient city trembling beneath the mighty shouts and the thundering walls crumbling to the ground. Jesus then turned to tales of David, the humble shepherd boy who defeated Goliath with a single stone and unwavering faith. He described how young David's courage inspired all Israel, reminding them that faith could move mountains. One woman whispered to her neighbor, "He makes these stories feel as if they are happening now." And Jesus continued sharing stories from the prophets Isaiah and Elijah, each rich with imagery and meaning. He vividly recounted Elijah calling down fire from heaven to prove God's power to the bewildered prophets of Baal. The audience was spellbound as Jesus described the heavenly chariot that took Elijah to the skies, never tasting death. He also spoke about Esther's bravery, risking her life to save her people from destruction with graceful resolve. Jesus' stories illuminated the struggles and triumphs that shaped their faith through endless generations. He told of Ruth's loyalty, how she refused to leave her mother-in-law and found new hope in Bethlehem. A young man asked, "Did these stories really happen, Jesus?" And he nodded kindly. "Yes," Jesus said softly. "These stories are the roots of our faith, and they breathe life into our spirits." He explained that these ancient figures exemplified unwavering trust in God's plan amidst adversity and doubt. His voice grew gentle as he described Isaiah's vision of a peaceful kingdom, where swords turned into plowshares. The crowd began to see history through Jesus' eyes, a living tapestry woven with divine purpose and human strength. He reminded them that their faith connected past and present, making history a living, breathing part of their lives. As the sun set, the community felt renewed, their hearts filled with hope inspired by the mighty deeds of long ago. Jesus concluded, "Remember these stories, for they remind us who we are and who we can become in God's grace." The villagers left with spirits uplifted, forever changed by the rich, vivid tales that Jesus had brought to life. The stories of the past, they realized, were not just memories but guides for their journey forward in faith.